there's a wee section that just says, "What if they spot us? Hiding behind the asteroid is the oldest trick in the book."
Your little insurrection is at an end, Your Highness.
Hello there. I'm Darren.
And I'm Kat.
And welcome to The Real Sequel, the series of events that happened after episode 6 in the books, novels, and sometimes comics in the expanded universe. Today we're starting Dark Force Rising, the second book in the Thrawn trilogy, and we're starting with chapter 1.
Very exciting.
So we open up with the Chimera staring over Myrkyr. The stars like white pinpricks in the veil of space. Dawn was approaching, the last dawn that some would ever see. Captain Pallaeon, standing on one side of the viewport, stares as a fuzzy line reaches its target area down on the planet. 10 minutes have passed since the troops on the ground have marked themselves as ready. The Chimera itself had been holding a blockade position for nearly an hour. All that is waiting now is for the order to attack. Pallaeon looks slightly in the direction of Thrawn.
That little guy hasn't done anything yet. Look at him. He's gonna do something, and you know it's gonna be good.
Thrawn, sitting at his command station, expressionless, focused on the status readouts, hadn't spoken since the last time the ground forces had checked in. Pallaeon could feel the restlessness in the crew, but at this stage had given up second-guessing Thrawn. He's just kind of like, screw it. He knows what he's doing.
Yeah, like, literally, like, I'm looking at the comics, and Thrawn knows he has a question, and asked him, "You have a question, yeah?" And he's just like, no, why would I have a question? Why would I question your motives? And Thrawn just answers the question that he had.
That's the thing, like, Thrawn always has that thing of, he knows a man by what art he collects, and, I mean, Pallaeon's definitely collecting the Beano.
We happy? Yeah, we happy.
Yeah, or the dandy.
Well,
Yeah, maybe the dandy.
So Pallaeon reflects on the xenophobic nature of the Emperor and how Thrawn rose in the ranks regardless, and is now rebuilding the Imperial fleet himself, and it's kind of like this guy has proven himself over and over again, you know? So Thrawn, however, senses that tension, as you say, and asks, "A question, Captain?" To which Pallaeon replies, "No, sir."
No. Why would I question?
So him half expecting this kind of Vader-style reprimand, then he kind of remembers how Thrawn works. And Thrawn asks Pallaeon, "You're wondering why we haven't attacked yet?" Which he then goes on to explain that he is waiting for the observers that he has sent to Hilliard. Thrawn explains his plan, that the observers will root out Karrde's contacts at Hilliard, which will aid them in finding Karrde faster, as Thrawn expects to find Talon Karrde's base will be deserted when it's searched. This kind of confused Pallaeon. He asks then, why are we attacking Karrde's base if it's empty? To which Thrawn replies, there's 3 reasons. Firstly, even men like Talon Karrde make mistakes. He may have left some form of crucial information behind. 2, the attack on the base will alert his contacts in Hilliard, kind of trigger that, that panic.
Yeah.
So the observers that they've placed will be able to track them down. And 3, it provides the ground forces some badly needed field experience, because essentially they're still in that phase of these are all new recruits, because obviously the Death Star blowing up, the Empire kind of essentially dissolving into just small little warlord kind of bits.
R.I.P. Chris. Per Chris.
Thrawn takes a moment to remind Pallaeon of their goal. Soon they will start to take planets from the rebellion, and for that they'll need an army as well trained as their fleet. Thrawn then says it's time, and Pallaeon contacts General Koval on the surface. Koval acknowledges and gives the order, and the raid began. The combined forces of an AT-AT, 2 AT-STs, and hover scout attack vehicles, as well as ground troops, took the camp under the skilled leadership of the veteran general, who's obviously all the troops are big green. They're trying to do these really, really neat lines and trying to keep like everyone together as you would in a training camp. Koval's more like, it doesn't matter really that kind of stuff.
Just need the job done.
Need the job done, and it needs to be you need to be confident about what you're doing, So a quick scan of the area reveals that no weapons, no life forms, except for 20 life forms in the main building, as well as an energy source in the outer barracks and the main building again. Thrawn contacts Corval and asks if it looks like the inhabitants left in a hurry. Kova then reports that there was a lot of junk left behind, and that the life forms were Ysalamiri. He knew this because of the emphasis Thrawn had been placing on them in the previous month. They then began dismantling the base. Seated at the helm of the Wild Karrde, Mara Jade turns to Karrde, who is staring intently at the planet Myrkyr.
Myrkyr.
Jade asks if they should go, to which Karrde takes a deep breath. And Jade kind of gets that feeling that Myrkyr meant more to Karrde than she initially thought. A thought that immediately passed as she already had lost so much herself, and she's fine. She's kind of like, get over it, you big baby. Kind of, you know. Karrde replies that he needs to see if they've left anything behind. Mara and Aves are restless, however. They know as every moment passes, they come closer to being spotted by the Chimera. Back on the Chimera, Pallaeon tells Thrawn there was a twitch from Hilliard. It appeared and then disappeared as quickly as it started. Pallaeon then asks Thrawn if he should prep the long-term surveillance team. Patience, Thrawn softly barks back. That may not be necessary. He commands Pallaeon to engage the mid-range sensors and to tell him what he sees. So Pallaeon's like, okay, what's happening?
Who am I to question? I am only a mere potato.
Pallaeon could see the planet, the TIE fighter defense, and a small asteroid. Thrawn says, don't do a focus scan, before Pallaeon even thought to do it. We don't want to alert them. Pallaeon and Thrawn hash it out over how likely it was for Karrde to be foolish enough to be there. The only object within 1 million miles of the planet. To which Thrawn says, with his eyes narrowed and focused, I've met the man. More importantly, I've seen the art he collects. Thrawn elaborates that Karrde isn't the smuggler, at least not primarily. He's not in it for the goods or even the money. His real goal is information. More than anything else in the galaxy, he craves knowledge.
He drinks and he knows things.
It's exactly Talon Karrde.
I am looking at the comic, and it just goes, there's a wee section that just says, what if they spot us? Hiding behind the asteroid is the oldest trick in the book. The amount of times somebody's hidden from me behind an asteroid, you know.
Pallaeon asks if he should order TIEs to check out the asteroid, to which Thrawn replies that he's already sent a command. They can't send a force from the Chimera without alerting Karrde. As the ground troops had landed, Thrawn had sent an order to the Star Destroyer Constrainer to arrive. At this point, Jade and Aves have been more and more jittery as every moment passes. Karrde has been talking Mara and Aves down the entire time, confident that the scanners could not have picked them up. Suddenly, Mara gets a feeling. She looks out the window, half expecting a squadron of TIEs to be advancing. But nothing. Just the Chimera in the distance. The bad feeling builds, and she starts the engines. Taking off, Mara shouts they're coming. Aves protests what she's doing, but Karrde quickly silences him and sides with Mara, knowing that the Chimera will have picked them up now that the engines have started anyway. Mara gets a feeling of embarrassment. Once again, Mara grasped the wrong end of the bayonet by listening to her gut, and this would probably be the last time she would be second in command.
Her gut was telling her she was hungry.
Just as they are making a maneuver, the Imperial Interdictor cruiser drops out of hyperspace 20 miles away. Aves shouting, "We have company," to which Karrde replies coolly, "I see it."
Fair enough.
Mara quickly gets enough distance to get into hyperspace, and the Wild Karrde escapes. Mara then gets an awful feeling. She had hoped that this feeling, and the feeling that led them to find Luke, was just luck, but no. She knew it wasn't, and that means the dreams would soon return. For the longest moment, Thrawn stares out the viewport. He tells Pallaeon that the Wild Karrde started its engines before the Interdictor cruiser entered the system. Thrawn surmises that someone must have warned them, but that it wasn't from their side, as the only people that knew were on the Constrainer and the Chimera, and no one could have sent a message without being discovered. Thrawn would have to give this some thought. In the meantime, Thrawn inquires about the warships that they have invited to join their navy. Pallaeon replies that 8 out of 15 groups have expressed interest, but none have committed, and that there had been another message from Jomark. To which Thrawn explains that Pallaeon needs to reiterate to C'baoth that if he continues to send messages, he risks losing Skywalker.
If you don't finish your dinner, there's going to be no ice cream. He just sounds like a dad that's just telling off a load of kids. He does.
No ice cream for C'baoth.
No ice cream for C'baoth. No, C'baoth. It's C'baoth. It's spelt C'baoth.
If the rebels connect them to Thrawn, their plans on Jomark will fall through. C'baoth implies that horrible retribution will fall on Thrawn if he misses Luke's arrival on Jomark, because he's away coordinating Star Destroyer battle. Which I assume like Thrawn. I mean, that's a weird text to get. Horrible retribution.
Yep.
Such a drama queen. Thrawn says that the political confusion they have stirred up in Coruscant will keep Skywalker busy for a few weeks at least, and Thrawn will now be taking a personal hand in the capture of Leia. Thrawn finishes by saying that he wants General Koval's recommendation for the 3 best infantry troops and 2 best mechanized operators from today's assault. Those 5 people should be transferred to Wayland immediately, and he then wants Pallaeon to set up the long-term surveillance team on Hilliard. The final scene in this chapter is of Joruus C'baoth. Damn it, C'baoth! Sitting in a temple at the top of an extinct volcano. He's just felt a flicker in the Force and is struggling to piece the fog of his memories to find where he's felt it before. His mind wanders as he thinks about Thrawn, how painful it is to coordinate his Star Destroyers. He needs to concentrate to do it, and it's difficult now. He preferred the time on Wayland when he could just do as he pleased, but it is worth the pain because soon he will have Jedi to mold as his followers. Eventually, he remembers the flickers in the Force have happened a few times in recent years, like someone who suddenly learns to use the Force for a time and somehow forgets. But that doesn't matter now. All that matters is getting his Jedi, and then even Thrawn will have to admit that he has found true power. That's the thing, so we forget about C'baoth halfway through the first book.
Yeah, I was wondering where he went. I thought maybe I'd missed a wee bit and Thrawn had killed him.
Yeah,
he just disappears.
Yeah, and he's just texting like a vengeful ex.
Yeah. Where's my money?
Where's the
Jedi.
Lebowski? You want that
Jedi.
Lebowski? Bunny says you're good for it. Where's the
Jedi.
Lebowski?
It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
It's going to be cool to see, right, where's this leading? Where's because it's all building up to something. There's like been a whole book of build up, and we now know as well that Thrawn's kind of behind that political turmoil. So it's the thought of are Borsk and Thrawn in league? All interesting. Well, that's about all we have time for this video. And be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and check out some of our other ones at the end of this. Bye.
Bye.